What is up, guys? And we are live. My name is Mountaineer Paul. This is another edition of Hoops from the Hills, and we have breaking news this Sunday evening. Chester Frazier, the hire from Illinois, new associate head coach at West Virginia, paying dividends as two of his former players that he recruited personally at Illinois with a lot of high upside. If you want to be a developmental program, these are the kind of players you want. And they also have some on-court experience, so a little bit of the best of both worlds there. Sincere Harris and Amani, no R. I keep wanting to throw the R in there. Hansberry. These are our two very good players. These are higher end players than what we normally get at West Virginia, so it's not like, I've seen a few people try to kind of put their nose down at these guys. These guys have both had 1 year in college to try to develop, and most likely are not going to go through the kind of weight program that we have in West Virginia because of what Bob Huggins had instilled here. So this is a huge get for us guys. It's great for just for positive momentum. It's great to get some of the morale of the fan base back up because I think people were like, God, we're swinging and missing on everybody. And now it's about these guys are going to get in early, right? And it's all about developing these guys. What kind of players did West Virginia just land? And what kind of mix are you starting to see a little bit here now that you've got a few players? Well, Armani Hansberry is a 6'8" power forward that plays below the rim. He's not an explosive athlete, but he's exceptional at everything else. That's why he was a high-end four-star player. He's extremely crafty under the rim. Now, listen, he can dunk easily. He's just not an Oscar Sheenway, or he's not a Sags, where he's just so super explosive leaper, is what I'm saying. And he's not going to do a bunch of fancy stuff under the rim. He's got excellent touch. He's a stretch. He can stretch it out and shoot it, and that part of his game stands to develop even more. And he has the high upside, really. I wouldn't say higher because I think Sincere Harris has a true chance to truly be an absolute star, an absolute superstar, guys. His offensive game is still developing. I would say they're probably opposites in that Hansberry is more offensively ready. Sincere Harris is more defensively ready. He can guard the best player in the Big 12 right now today and give him problems. This guy is the most ready-made defender we've had since Javon Carter. And I'm not joking, guys. And that was a two-time. And you guys didn't get me the other night because I was so honed in. Yes, he was the National Player of the Year, the Big 12, or National Defensive Player of the Year, and a Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. You're correct. Defensive Player of the Year. But this kid has that type of potential, and really more so along the lines, he's more of a Deuce McBride type athlete. The one thing that limited Javon a little bit was his athleticism. Not that it's terrible, it's just not elite. So, really, really glad this happened today. Before we go much further, let's have a look at this sponsor and pay tribute to our tribal chief. You guys know and love him, Dutch Miller Automotive. This episode of Hoops from the Hills is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive, where friends and family price. This episode of Hoops from the Hills is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive, where friends and family pricing means you get the best deal right up front on any new or pre-loved vehicle in stock every time.
With brands like Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Kia, Hyundai, Ford, GMC, Buick, and Subaru, the Dutch Miller Automotive family is always growing and ready to put you in the car or truck you've been searching for.
Check out our inventory across West Virginia at DutchMillerAuto.com, or you can come in person today to the home of friends and family pricing, only at a Dutch Miller Automotive store near you. All right, let's see who all's in here right now. We've got Sybil Silvertunda. What's up? What's up, Couz?
What's up?
Just got done doing the ad.
I saw.
So we're not far in. Hey. Okay. Hadn't even got a chance to talk about you yet. I figured you'd be in here eventually. Right off the bat, Couz is good luck. We've got a $5 super chat from TJ Selton. Country roads, baby. Woo! So, Couz, I guess we'll play a little role reversal since it's happening like this today.
Mhm.
Obviously, these are two huge gets for West Virginia. The Chester Frazier hire is already paying huge dividends.
Right.
Uh, these are two developmental players, but also two players that have on-court experience, so the best of both worlds, right?
Right.
What was your reaction to these commitments? Because I'll be honest, I was being told it was questionable on Amani
Right.
Hansberry right up until the very end. I guess they got it. So get your take on all this.
Yeah, I really haven't had a chance to digest the Hansberry one yet. The Sincere Harris one I was a little bit more familiar with. Actually, the Hansberry one I'm finding out about in real time, so bear with me on it. But Sincere Harris, I've been extremely busy the last 48 hours, so I haven't really had a chance to do a lot of research or reading. But first off, on Sincere Harris, I think it's huge because, the one thing West Virginia struggled with the most in 2023 was defense. They couldn't stop anybody, right? Well, now with Sincere Harris, you got a guy who's a lockdown defender, could potentially, keywords potentially, end up being the best lockdown defender they've had since Javon Carter. He's that good on the defensive end of the court. Now, he's so far been nowhere near Javon Carter on the offensive end of the court, but everything I've read about him, he has worked on developing that part of his game, and that is one of the reasons he wanted to actually redshirt his sophomore year was because he wanted to develop offense and then was planning to transfer after the season was over. So fingers crossed his offensive game is improved, but at the very least, West Virginia's getting a lockdown defender who can guard the ball, which is extremely important, right? And we've heard Ren Baker and Darren DeVries both talk about defense and how they need to be good on the defensive end. So that's key. The Hansberry one, it's a forward position. He's probably going to play the 4 most of the time. I don't know as much about him, to be honest, because I haven't had a chance to do as much research on him. But, I mean, either way,
Kevin Jones is a good comp.
Yep. Okay, that's fair. He's so far he's not put up Kevin Jones type numbers, but again, he's only played one season. So
they were stacked in front of him. They had two. It'd be like he coming into this. It'd be like Devin Williams and Culver being at West Virginia and him coming.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to. That's how it was in Illinois for him last year. So I don't. He's just not going to see the floor as a freshman with Derek Culver and Devin Williams on the same team.
Right.
They were just stacked in the backcourt.
Yeah.
Or in the front court.
And he did shoot 45% from the floor, so that's a good thing. So
he's a terrific offensive player.
Yeah.
He really is. He's got such a great touch around the rim, and he can stretch it all the way out to 3 and hit. And you can see it in his game. Like, he's got a really pretty shot. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what. I was talking to that guy that we had on the show the other day from Illinois.
Right.
And Sincere Harris is not 6'4" anymore. Have you seen these pictures?
I have not.
Of them. I took a couple screenshots because I didn't know if you were going to show up or not.
Uh-huh.
But this is them. Oh, no, it's not either. Well, maybe I don't have it. It's our thumbnail, though. Our thumbnail is, you might be able to find it, Couz, but our thumbnail is, if you look at it, and there's a couple other pictures where they're standing next to each other. Sincere Harris is the same height as Amani Hansberry, almost. It's like you could tell he's maybe an inch taller. And I was asking, it was Keenan, not the guy from Illinois. I was like, is Hansberry is he 6'5" or something and not really 6'8"? And he was like, no, I think Sincere Harris just grew. and when you look at him, he looks enormous. Sincere Harris looks every bit of 6'6".
Yeah, he's listed at 6'4", but I don't
believe it. I swear he looks big.
Yeah, it's possible.
Either if he's 6'4", then Amani Hansberry is 6'6".
Yeah, gotcha. Got
based off those pictures.
Yeah, we got a couple more super chats. Got one from Sean Uphold. Thank you for the $10 donation, Sean. He says, "Now let's go get Felix Okpara."
Sean has a business, Magic Shine, I believe it's called, in Morgantown. Does a lot of car detailing. Thanks
Glad to
for
have
the
you
super
on.
chat, Sean.
Glad to have you on, Sean. We appreciate it, my man. And then we've got Mark Painter with the $5 donation. Don't see a comment, but he did say before that Harris is a defensive stud.
That he is. I think, Hansberry will probably make a little bit larger impact that's seen by the fans this year, unless I mean, Harris does have the ability to come in and change games defensively. They say if you go watch his footage that he's got on his Twitter page, actually, we could probably do that too, couldn't we, Couz? Are we allowed to watch footage on his Twitter page? Would that violate copyright?
Whose Twitter page?
Sincere Harris.
It depends on
He's
where the footage came from.
It's on his Twitter page. I know it's not YouTube, but I don't know where it came from. So
I'll find it.
But there's all ton of highlights from him from Illinois practices, while he was doing it underneath. I guess why he redshirted, or maybe it was during his freshman year. I'm not sure. But he shows the ability. I mean, he hits like 53s during the video, so it's not like he can't shoot at all. And then and he's so explosive when he gets to the rim, and he's got a really nice layup package. He's probably got 2 or 3 different style layups that he does.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he's not completely inept on offense. I don't mean to come across that way, but he just, especially his jump shot, and you can see it whenever he lets it fly. Excuse me. When he's shooting jumpers,
yeah,
he kind of alligator arms him a little bit, where he, I don't know how to explain it. You'll see on the video, he doesn't always get follow through an extension. It's kind of like, you ever see somebody like that, like Iverson made it popular, where they'll shoot real quick and bring the arm back?
Yeah.
Similar to that.
I'm watching it now, by the way.
Oh, okay. Oh, we got another super chat too, Couz. $20 one. Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Ashanti Warrior, thank you for the $19.99 donation super chat. He says, or they say, love this. We thank you for the donation.
Thank you so much. That's incredibly generous.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then Mark had another comment too, since he left us a donation. I wanted to get to his other comment. He said, we still need to get a couple of big true centers. This can be a huge year if we become a defensive top-tier team with these good coaches now. Absolutely, Mark. I totally agree. Obviously, with the coaching staff they brought in so far and the players they're bringing in, it looks like defense is the focus here so far.
And we've reached out. I have a list. Let's see here. I don't know if I have it screenshot on which phone, but
Sean, to answer your question, he says, can't you use just about anything under fair use if you're commenting on it? Yes and no. Videos are a little different. Videos are a little more, especially if they have logos, or, for example, if you use something from ESPN or Fox, they almost 100% of the time dock you for it because you don't have their permission. I've had some people tell me as long as it don't show the logo, you can get away with it, but I just try my best not to even risk it.
Yeah.
My understanding
it's a crapshoot.
If it's really short, like a few seconds or something, it's probably okay. But if you show like a 1 minute clip or more longer, then they can dock you. But again, it depends on if you're doing like a reaction video, I think you're probably okay. But just to show it, I don't know. It's dicey, man. So
yeah, the problem is there's nobody. It's not like I can pick up the phone and say, "Hey guys, I actually have permission," or like there's a process, and it's not always. It's just once you get so many strikes, your channel becomes in jeopardy. The monetization comes in jeopardy.
And with YouTube, the way it works is YouTube doesn't have to pay you to do videos. It's their choice to do that. So they'll just what they'll normally do is if a company makes a complaint, they'll just demonetize that single video. You may not get a copyright strike or anything like that threatens your channel, but they'll just demonetize that particular video.
Right.
And the money will either go towards the person who made the claim, or it just doesn't, nobody makes money on it at all. One of the two. So that's really usually how it works. And it's just not worth fighting it. You know what I mean? To be honest.
Yeah.
So.
What was your take on the video you watched just there?
Well, I didn't I got sidetracked. Didn't get to watch it all. I've only watched like a minute of it. Let me I need
okay.
to, and I need to enlarge it as well because I can't really see it very well.
Right. I wasn't sure if you were putting it on screen or not. Like I didn't know if you what your take on it was as far as whether it'd be okay to see or not.
Well, it's from Huddle, I think. Well, now it says Play Site. I don't even know who Play Site is.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't know, man. I guess
It's okay. I don't care either way. Really.
I say not. I say not worth the risk.
Okay, that's fine. If you guys go to Sincere Edwards'
Twitter account.
his Twitter, his X page, it's right there at the very top. It says loading year 2. He posted it just like not even a couple weeks ago. So and then Amani Hansberry's all over YouTube. I'm sure Harris is as well.
But I see what you're talking about with his shot. He doesn't get tension above his head. He pushes it. It's like he pushes it from right in front of his face and just kind of flicks it almost.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You can tell he played baseball as well or something.
Yeah.
It's a funny, but it goes in a lot. I mean, it looks okay. You know, it's not as bad as I was expecting it to be.
His follow through is okay. Like his wrist follow through is good. His shot would be easy to block. I think the way he shoots it, and he does have a quick release. That's a good point.
Yeah,
very quick release.
Yeah,
but he just doesn't get extension above his head where he'll be able to shoot over.
Right. Right. It's like the opposite of Dirk Nowitzki. The way his shot was.
It's an odd looking shot for sure.
Yeah.
But as long as it goes in, right, that's the main thing.
Right. But I mean,
he gets rid of it quick enough to where, and he gets rid of it quick enough to where he might be able to avoid blocks in that, that way, just by getting rid of it quickly.
Yeah. Absolutely. Super chat here, Couz.
We actually haven't set up memberships yet, TJ. We've been talking about doing that. We just haven't. It takes quite a bit of time to set that up, to be honest, and we just haven't had time to do it. To be frank, or I haven't had time to do it.
And not only that, we haven't really discussed, because there's the options with it. Yeah, the perks. And with the way his schedule is, sometimes mine is, we want to be able to be honest with you guys and give you, what we say. So we'll figure it out, though. Even if it's just one level for everybody to, and we'll maybe set up a Discord or something, maybe, something like that. I could probably manage that myself, but
that might be.
We'll figure something out. Yeah, but we'll figure something out. Give us a couple weeks, and we'll do it.
Thank you for the $5 donation, man.
Thanks for the shot. Thank you. But I'm excited about this, and it's definitely not over. There's another huge list of players that they've reached out to. Let me see if I can toss it on.
Yeah. And while you're looking for that, real quick, I did note, give a quick shout out to WV Sports Now, who wrote articles on both of these guys, the Hansberry and Harris. I did see one of the articles that Hugs recruited Hansberry out of high school as well.
He did. I actually do have an article up.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I forgot I had it in here for this, but yeah, because I wasn't sure if you were going to come. It's Skylar Callahan wrote it. It's on Hansberry only because I was just in a rush. It's this one here.
Gotcha.
Is that showing up?
Yeah, 4-star big man commits to WVU hoops by Chris Anderson.
Oh, there
That's
it
Air
is.
Sports, not Skylar.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's by Chris. It's a really good job.
Western University's men's basketball team has picked up a commitment from Illinois big man Amani Hansberry. The 6'8" forward entered the NCAA portal earlier this month and went on an official visit this weekend. Hansberry held numerous offers out of high school, including ones from Miami, Wake Forest, Oregon, and more. In that mix was also West Virginia, who came in with a late summer offer not long before he committed to Illinois. He was considered one of the best big men in the class of 23. From 24/7 Sports Director of Scouting, Adam Hansberry has
his last name.
Hansberry has some of the best hands in high school basketball, excellent footwork, and a very high acumen for the game. While he doesn't have elite size or explosiveness, He's versatile and able to impact winning in a variety of ways. He's a scoring threat with both hands around the rim, poised in the post, crafty with his use of fakes, able to create space with his broad shoulders, and a very good passer from multiple spots on the floor. Sounds like I'm reading a description of Derek Culver. Simultaneously, he's a reliable free throw shooter and continuing to expand his face-up game without sacrificing his efficiency. He's a high-volume rebounder, able to win 50-50 balls because of his length and hands, and in all the right spots on both ends of the floor. Defensively, he's sometimes best as a 5, but doesn't project as much of a rim protector, assuming is what it said. Hansberry played in 19 games this season, averaging 7.5 minutes per game. During that brief period of time on the court, he averaged 2.4 points and 2.1 rebounds per contest. Stay tuned to Ear Sports for more on this breaking story.
Sometimes when you're doing the screenshots like I got to do because I have a phone, you have to sacrifice like somebody's last name to get the full paragraph of the next one. So here's some pictures of Hansberry as well, guys. If you haven't seen him yet, he's very long as far as his arm length goes, extremely long and lanky. But like if you look at look at Coach, we know Coach is like 6'4". So 6'8" it's yeah. I was whenever, but the thing is Sincere Harris is almost his exact height with the pictures.
Is there a picture?
Did you see it?
I did not see it. No, not yet.
Look, going on Monty Hansberry's ex or Sincere Harris's ex. I can't remember which one it is. One of the two. There's a picture of them standing next to each other. I swear they look the same size to me. Now they both have like well, I think Hansberry has like a little bit of a fro, but you could tell kind of where the hairline is and stuff. I really do think Harris is grown, which it's not impossible. So I think somebody was telling me that too, that he's not done growing.
Wow.
You see it?
Not yet. I'm still looking. My Twitter account's blowing up here since I haven't been on here all day.
Oh yeah.
So you said it's Harris's page or Hansberry's?
Can't remember, to be honest. I think it might have been Harris's though, because he committed first. Yeah, he committed first today, and so I was looking at his page and saw there was a picture where it's both of them in the picture because I got it with this thumbnail. So
okay, the one standing beside Coach Frazier.
Yeah. There's another one where it's just them two, I think, but
Hansberry's 13, right?
Yeah. I know it's hard to tell the difference between them. They're close to the same size.
They look the same height to me.
That's what I'm saying. Like I really do think Sincere Harris, there's no way he's 6'4" or Hansberry's shorter. That's what I'm trying to say. There's just no way that he's 6'4".
I mean, there may be an inch. Might be an inch, 2 at the most difference.
Right. I think Sincere Harris is probably closer to 6'6" or 6'5".
The hair makes it hard. Yeah, the hair makes it harder to tell, but there's not 4 inches between those two guys. I don't believe.
No.
Wow.
So I mean that's great because if you look at Harris, I mean his arms are long, he's lanky, and that's going to make him an even better defender. The more length you got, the better it is. The better rebounder. So I want to see these guys get in the weight room and put some muscle on, man.
Yeah, it's not unheard of for guys to keep growing at that age.
No,
I mean,
Shaq
it's rare.
did.
Yeah, it's rare, but it happens. Everybody's growth and all that is happens at a different rate and under a different time frame. And males typically grow later than females do, so it's not unheard of. So it's very possible that he got taller than 6'4" over the last couple of years since he came out of high school, and they just haven't updated it. Or they could be listing Hansberry at a bigger height than he actually is, which does happen from time to time.
Right. All right. So I've got this list. Now, this is from they posted this earlier on 247, and a friend of mine sent me the screenshots. So this is a list of some players we've been in contact with. That's small.
John Tanji.
Yep, out of Missouri.
Yep.
He also played at Colorado State. Ken Evans, Jackson State. That dude right there, and you can see what he did. 18 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He is. If we can snag him, he's exactly what we need to finish this guard lineup. He's a great scorer. He's Big 12 ready right now. Watched a lot of his stuff. I mean, it's hard to know for sure, but he projects well.
Let me ask you, go back to Tanji a minute. On there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's
still
another one.
there.
I meant to talk about him too.
He's still on there, but he only has 1 year of eligibility remaining, so he's a veteran. But yet he only averaged 2.6 points a game. That's a little concerning to me.
Well, he scored over 1,000 points in his career. He went to Missouri. He averaged 14 points a game the year before.
Okay, I see that.
At Colorado State, and went to Missouri, and for whatever reason, it just didn't work. Now you could say maybe it's the SEC.
Oh, he only played in 8 games. No wonder.
Well, that probably okay. There you go. There's part of it too. See, I hadn't read all these yet.
We're reading them in real time.
Yeah. Can you read the Ken Evans one?
18.8 points last season, 5.4 rebounds, 2.9 assists. West Virginia was not in the first wave of schools that reached out to Evans, but they may have also been because Darren DeVries was still working on putting together his coaching staff. I'm struggling to read it here.
It's small, yeah.
And I don't have great eyesight. Anyway, he could be coming into town this weekend for a visit, it says.
Yeah, which would be huge.
Wesley Cardell,
yeah,
guard from Chicago State. Never heard of that. 18.7 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2.6 assists.
A pretty prolific scorer.
He's a guard. Average. Man, yep. What's up with all these guards?
Well, remember, he plays 4 in. He plays 4 out and 1 in. You know what I mean?
But I'd like to have him. They say he likes 6'10" big men, 6'10" and up, and I've yet to see one person on the list that's – of course, I'm sure the list is not done, but –
No, it's not. There are big men on this list, too. I think.
And there's Evans again. He showed up twice for some reason.
Oh, because we hadn't read this guy on the top first. I was excited about Evans.
Delvin Smith from Utah, a guard from Utah. So Power 5 player, 13.3 points, 6.3 rebounds, 7.1 assists at Utah.
I like what they say about him. A guy who simply fills up the stat sheet.
But already been at 3 schools over 4 seasons. That's concerning, but is now back in the portal as a grad. Well, he's a grad transfer, so that's understandable. Yeah. 1 year of eligibility remaining. He's been at Mississippi State and Georgia Tech as well. Before going to Utah, WVU is not really close to home. He's from Georgia, but it should be closer. And I'm told Mountaineers have at least touched base.
The one from Boise here, I heard it sounds like they haven't got a response yet as of last check.
Okay. Agbo is his last name. I'm not going to try to pronounce his first name. He's a guard that averaged 13.7 points and 5.1 rebounds a game at Boise State.
Who had a pretty good basketball team the last couple of years.
Uh-huh. Then you got, since they're obviously Harris, then you got Atten Wright, who I guess still hasn't committed anywhere yet.
You know, and the update on him, I'm glad that came up. So looking at his Instagram page earlier today, and then it only confirmed what I had been told was that he went on an official visit to Tulane, most people believe. I think it actually says it there. And then his IG said he was in Louisiana or New Orleans today.
Yeah. Matthew Swanson.
Thank you, Matthew.
Yep. Yeah, that's the reason he only played 8 games. He was injured most of the year. So small sample size for those stats, so it's not really a true picture of what he can do. And
right.
Cardette
he
just
looks
committed.
Really long.
Matthew also says Cardette just committed to Providence, so he's off the board.
Gotcha. Thanks for the update, Matthew.
And we do. And Ashante Warrior has a good question. Can we rebound in the Big 12 with 4 guards? My understanding is that DeVries likes guards. Matter of fact, the general guy who was on the show with us the other night, his name was escaped me, but he told us that he likes guards that can rebound. So,
yeah, well, he plays with big wing players too. Guys like Tucker, guys like O'Connor that are 6'7", 6'8".
yeah.
Just think about the lineup. Yeah, the two guards are going to be between 6 feet and 6'3", 6'4" ish, 6'2", whatever.
Mhm.
But if you got those two, you got two guards that are 6 feet to 6'2" probably. But then you look at Tucker and let's say Tucker and O'Connor are the other two. Well, those guys are both 6'7" and up. So that means you essentially have four guys on the floor that are 6'7" or taller. So that's kind of the thought process with it, is because guards rebound and get a lot of rebounds too. They get close to half the rebounds in the game.
Noah Farrakhan was one of West Virginia's best rebounders this past season.
Mike Ginsey was one of the best I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. And Noah Farrakhan was 6'1".
Yeah,
he wanted it, and he could jump out of the gym. So that's two key factors in rebounding. Sean Uphold with another $5 super chat. Thank you, Sean. He says,
thanks, Sean.
If we can get a 4-star or above big, it would be starting 5 of 4-star or higher players. When is the last time that happened in WVU basketball? That's a great point, Sean.
Never. This never happened.
If it has, I don't remember it. It was probably before I was born. And
I think we've had.
And they didn't have recruiting rankings back then. You know what I'm saying? So I guess never is the right answer.
It'll probably be the Ebanks team. I think they had Ebanks. Truck Bryant was a 4-star player. There was 2 guys. That's all I can remember off that.
Yeah,
because Ebanks was a 4-star player.
I don't know if KJ
5-star.
What was KJ?
He was a 3-star player. Yeah, he wasn't highly ranked recruiting because he's like Hansberry. He's below the rim. Yeah. God, if he could turn into a KJ, that's like a dream, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Or
Derek Culver too. I think Derek Culver.
Or Derek Culver.
Yeah, if he learns to shoot, it'll be KJ was able to develop a good outside shot over his career. So if he can do that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and that makes you dangerous. He can absolutely do it. If you go watch his highlights, he's got a gorgeous shot, and he shoots like I think he shoots 70-something% from the line. So he's got a great shot. He really does. Last on here is Tony O'Connor.
Yeah. There's actually a question in the chat about him too. So go ahead and get roll with that one.
O'Connor?
Yeah. What are you hearing?
When this was sent to me, the guy that sent it didn't send what it said about O'Connor, but basically it's been dead silent on O'Connor. He has since moved on to visit Virginia, which is, close to here. Don't know yet. Sounds like they still got a shot. Maybe these transfers today will make him think like that it's not a total loss at West Virginia now because they had no players. It's kind of like it's hard to sell anything when you got no culture, no players. You're literally going to be the culture at the beginning of it. So I haven't been able to hear from anybody, to be honest, guys. And you guys know I've always plugged into someone. I haven't heard from hardly anybody about O'Connor. It's like, and then I looked at pictures of him the day he was here. He had his hood on. The body language didn't look good to me. Now I look too deeply into this stuff sometimes, I'll admit. But I didn't feel good about it the day he was here. Usually if they leave without a commitment and move on, that's not always great either. And then you go to see a guy like Tony Bennett who say, hey, I'm a Hall of Famer or going to be a Hall of Famer, national championship coach, coaching, and then get, it's tough to beat. It's like, if we had, it's just like, Jay Couz said to us, he was, I think he said it on this show, he said, the next step's probably going to find out it's a little bit harder to recruit without Hugs. That, having Hugs, his name carried a lot of weight in recruiting, and it did. Maybe that's happening a little bit here. They're going to have to show something before it gets a little easier on the recruiting trail. We'll see. I mean, obviously these 2 4-star guys are huge.
Yep.
But they followed their coach, So it's not. I don't know if we didn't really technically pull them because they followed their coach. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
how I'm looking at it.
yeah, but we pulled the coach. So that's
Right.
to me that's equivalent.
That's fair. I'm just. It's just. I just wish some of these guys would have committed. Now, acting right, I understand why he didn't commit because the word on the street there is that one thing that Coach DeVries has been extremely straightforward about is playing time where you sit on the roster at that point in time, what you're going to have to do to start, et cetera. Maybe Attenwright didn't hear what he wanted to hear. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe he got told he was going to be the star. I don't know, but probably not. I would say he probably said, "Hey, look, you got a chance to start at one of the guard spots. Worst case scenario, you're a 6 man probably. I mean, because he's a great player. I really like him. He's undersized for the Big 12. I think that's what most people's concern was about him. But, you know, I mean, we'd be lucky to get him, I think.
Yep. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. We see. But they were asking about Tucker DeVries. Yeah, he's a 4-star. Have you heard anything about Omaha Bill U?
Nothing. Nothing at all. It's been kind of silent on that front.
Yeah. And Anthony Perry asked, do we think Harris plays the 1 or the 2? Or does it not really matter because Tucker will be playing pick and roll a lot? I think he'll play probably both, to be honest. I think he'll be more of a 2 with the ability to play the 1 if needed. That's my take on it. But again, I'm not Coach DeVries. I'm just basically shooting from the hip based on his history and what I've read about him and watching his highlights.
Yeah, no, he wants to score at point guard, so it's gonna have to be somebody else. But that mean he won't play it ever, But no, 'cause he's gonna have somebody that can score the rock at the guard spot. He's got to have it. He's got to have it for or an elite passer. Somebody you got to have one or the other. So which Kerr would have been great for the role. He really would have been because he can do a little bit of both, especially pass. But then again, he kind of isn't as explosive as I thought he was going to be either. Getting by people, Tucker, or not Tucker, but
Kerr.
So, uh, I think he's going to go. That's why you see him go. He's been going after nothing but the very best as far as guards go. There's not one offer that he's sent out. I mean, the UT Martin guy was most people feel is the best point guard on the market, and he probably was. So there are a couple guys that are really, really close to him. The Ken Evans guy is another one, but he's really a scorer. Tenor, don't overlook Tenor as a guy that if he gets the weight on quick enough, could easily be a starting point guard.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's going to be this year. But did you see the retweet I gave you about him?
About who?
KJ Tenor.
I did not. I don't think. Was it today?
Yeah. Remember when we were watching this film? I was telling you, I said he's got a floater from the freaking foul line.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I do.
He posted. He said, "I'll be bringing this." He posted a shot of the floater, and said, "I'll be bringing this to Morgantown." And I quote tweeted. I said, "I was just telling him." I tagged you. I said, "I was just telling Couz about this damn floater of yours from the foul line. He shoots a floater from the foul line."
Yeah.
Just really not. It's the you usually see it right there in the at the circle, but not so far back as the foul line usually. And he does.
Right.
He's got a crazy running floater from the foul line that he hits on everybody.
Yeah, I got one of my totally off topic, but one of the girls on my team has a floater that she's really, really good at.
Nice.
Pretty nice to see it. She's also my best 3-point shooter. So when she's making her threes and they close out hard on her, she'll drive by him and hit that little floater. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had a tournament yesterday, so I still have that on my mind.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Silver 8 Tundra said, I see Noah is still on the roster. Been a few days since they said he was leaving. Hopefully he stays. I haven't heard a word about Noah. Have you, Paul?
I have not. Most likely, if I had to guess, I haven't checked on him. Now I could check on it and get back with you guys next episode. But as far if I had to guess, I would say he's probably. You know how the best way I can put it is like, okay, you know how you guys enter their name in the draft. They're told feedback on like what you have to get better at.
Mm-hmm.
I think in Noah's situation last year was the kind of year where he didn't put his best foot forward for a lot of reasons because of the way things played out. He wasn't even ready to play. He didn't even know he was going to have to. So mentally he wasn't there yet. He had to kick it in gear really quick, and I don't think he was in game shape yet. He hadn't probably been playing as hard as he would have been had he going into a season. So I think he wasn't able to put his best foot forward, and I'd say recruiting or the portal, I'm sure he's probably asking around like, who wants him kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or he probably has asked. Maybe he hasn't got the feedback he wants, because, you can put your name in the portal and take it back out. I get that.
Yeah.
But maybe there's a reason for that. Like, like they were saying, I think, we might have a shot at keeping him. I just don't know. Haven't spoke to anybody yet, so it's hard to know. But Tony Caridi says that it damn near always happens. So that's the thing. That's the thing is it was Tony that said it. Not that he can't be wrong or things can change.
Hey,
kind of shocking.
Kerr, somebody asked about, a couple of people asked about Kerr. I think the Kerr thing was a mutual decision. I don't think it was just that they didn't want to keep Kerr. I think it was a mutual decision. And somebody brought up a good point, Paul. Mike Furby actually said that if you look at the picture of Harris and Hansberry side by side, which I got it pulled up on my computer and where it's bigger now. I was looking at it on my phone before. When you look at him at shoulder level, Hansberry's quite a bit taller. And he's
really?
Yeah. No. What? And I was looking closer too. The way they're standing, Hansberry kind of has his head down a little bit, and Harris has kind of got his like this a little bit. So I think that might also throw it off. So he is Hansberry's definitely taller. Now, is he 4 inches taller? I don't think, but I think he's at least 2 to 3 inches taller, probably.
Okay.
Harris also has.
It could be an optical illusion.
I think it is a little bit, and Harris also, the way they're built, Harris has a longer neck than but again, Hansberry, and it could also be the way, like I said, Hansberry's standing kind of like this, has his head kind of leaning one way, so which also makes his neck look smaller. So, but still, like I said, I don't know that it's 4 inches, but maybe it is. I think it's more like 2 to 3.
I guess we'll see when they weigh in next year. I'm sure if he's added any height, they'll definitely throw that onto the to the sheet.
He definitely looks taller than 6'4", though. I'll be honest. If Hansberry's 6'8", he's got to be at least 6'5", 6'6".
Right.
But
that was my main point.
Yeah. I don't want to get too far into the weeds on the specifics of it, but
right.
But they did bring that to my attention, and I pulled it up on my computer, and it was very noticeable. The shoulder height, which I hadn't noticed earlier, is definitely noticeable. But anyway, Kerr's long gone, I believe, Cody. I don't think he's committed anywhere yet, but he's pretty much gone from everything I've heard and seen.
Yeah,
read.
I thought he was going to go to St. John's. I really did, based on what I was being told. But maybe he's waiting for. I mean, I would say, there's a lot of competition for him. He's a very, very good guard.
Yep.
If you surround him with the really good players, he would absolutely eviscerate people. If he had, could you imagine that guy if he had 3 or 4 really good scorers to get the ball to all the time? On a team that was consistent and gelling, I mean, he would eviscerate guys.
Yep. Mitchell Purdy says Huggins had very poor recruiting. His name didn't seem to carry that much weight. He had done better the last couple of years with portal guys. I mean, Eric Stevenson got Emmett Matthews to come back. Was able to go get obviously Kerr and Trey Mitchell, and which Trey was the year before, but yeah, Kerr came in, Raekwon came in under Hugs, Jesse Edwards came in under Hugs. Now, when you look at his high school recruiting, that's fair, I guess, but you also look, he also recruited Javon Carter and Deuce McBride. 2 NBA players. So,
Well,
you
he
know,
on purpose didn't recruit big time high school players. He told Bill Self on video. You can go find it right now.
Mhm.
He said I told Bill the reason we're going to get along is because I don't recruit the same people you do. You know, so he was open about that. I wasn't talking about high school recruiting anyway. I was talking about the portal. And last year when they actually went after those kind of guys, his name carried weight. That was really all I was saying.
right. Yeah.
Um, you know, because you saying, hey, you can come play for a Hall of Fame coach. It doesn't really have to be Huggins, a community guy. You know, it does carry weight to players.
Yeah. I totally agree. Anthony Perry says the best thing about today's commits are that it seems like we are building for the future. If we can retain them like Neil has been able to do. Yeah. And I think Darren DeVries, to me, just obviously there's nothing to back this up as far as experience at West Virginia yet. But just knowing what we know about him, reading what we read about him, seeing how he's recruiting, the way he likes to build his roster and his staff, I think there's a lot of similarities between him and Neil Brown. I really do. I think that's the kind of coach that Ren Baker and Gordon Gee want to bring in West Virginia, a culture builder, a team builder, a person who likes to recruit high school talent and retain them. Also, to do that, they're going to have good NIL, which I think they do. So, but yeah, I do think it's building for the future, Anthony, and I think that's what they want at West Virginia. It's what they need at West Virginia. West Virginia's never going to get a lot of the 5-star guys, so they've got to get guys in, retain them, and develop them. And I think that's what they're trying to do with a lot of these guys.
Yeah. And I had somebody tell me that would definitely know. This whole Drake team would have been back together this year had he not switched jobs.
Mm-hmm.
That at least that was the expectation. Nobody was going to transfer. They wanted to run it back and try to win another Missouri Valley championship. So I think there's something to that culture.
Josh says, do you think with Harris committing, it means you're right from Drake isn't committing?
Not at all. No, I mean, if Noah was staying, then you would start to ask maybe, but I don't think so at this point. No, I mean you got to have 5-6 guards in the roster.
Average Cody says, so if they would have all been back, why didn't they want to come to WVU? I mean, multiple reasons, Cody. I mean, some of them may not want to move that far away from home. Some may not like it in Morgantown. Some may not want to. I don't know. There's a lot of different reasons.
Well, their coaches didn't come either, remember?
Correct. The assistant coaches didn't come, correct? So
that was a big part of it.
Assistant coaches are a lot more critical than people sometimes give them credit for, us included.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, Darren didn't even recruit some of those guys personally. I mean, he was involved, but you know what I'm saying? He wasn't the lead recruiter on all those guys.
Right.
So it's not his fault, is what I'm saying. Like you say, I think with one of the coaches it wasn't a shock, but one of them it was. So, the guy that went to go with what's his name, Vanderbilt there. I think that was a little bit of a surprise. But it turns out he's got a kid that plays close to there, and he's from, or he's not from there, but it's Nashville. It'd be be a fun place to live.
Yeah. So, I mean, Morgantown's probably not for everybody. It's a great college town, but there might be some people who don't like it. I mean, that's just, family matters. What does our family want to do? That's one thing that a lot of us forget about when we have these conversations, and I'm guilty of it. Sometimes we forget that these people have families, and their wife has to be on board with this move too, not just them. If they have families and their kids, there's a lot at play here with a lot of these coaches and maybe not necessarily the players, but the coaches mainly.
He is, Matthew, and he said Frazier looks like he's a gold mine for high school recruiting. He knows how to connect with them, and especially, you look at some of the areas he goes and recruited him when he was in Illinois. Not always the best areas. He's good at going into those kind of areas in recruiting. Good kids. So, I love that about him. Because Illinois got some tough areas, especially around the Chicago area. And then you look at uh, back like in the DC area where his home base recruiting is. Some of the places, if you look specifically at like his recruiting area, like where the schools he goes to, man, he goes into some tough areas, man.
Mm-hmm.
But man, high character kids a lot of times come out of those areas. I'm not trying to make any kind of statement about that. It's just it takes a certain type of coach to be able to do that. Not every coach can go to those areas, so that's important. And then he has, from what I understand and I'm told, his real big thing with it is he's extremely like, I don't know how to emphasize how extremely he is plugged into the AAU circuit, and which is where all the best players play. So probably has to do with being a player. You just meet people as a player, and he's the kind of player that resonates with, or hard nosed players, which is exactly what we're looking for. The kind of player he was. I went and looked at his highlights. He was absolutely a pest in college. So pretty cool.
Yeah. Drumwolf 62, thank you for hopping in. And yes, we did recognize a sponsor early in the show, but thank you for bringing it up in the reminder. And again, we'll remind you again, go check out Dutch Miller Automotive for your automotive needs, whether it's a new vehicle or you need some service work done. They'll take care of you on that front too. So, and thanks for Chris Miller and the fine folks over at Dutch Miller Automotive for supporting our shows. Old staff hired back, Cody. I don't know yet, man. I've heard rumors that Deshaun Butler might be in play. I've heard rumors that Jordan McCabe, but again,
Frank Young.
Yep. Well, Frank Young wasn't on our staff ever, but yeah.
I thought he said former player.
No, he said old staff.
Right.
But anyway, but none of that's been confirmed. It's all rumor and speculation at this point. But yeah, Frank Young's name did come up. That's a great point. And he's a former player at West Virginia, obviously, and had a great career at West Virginia, one of the greatest 3-point shooters we've seen. And then he's been coaching ever since. So
screenshot that, Couz.
I should.
That's a good one. We like to send these to them, especially if they're funny.
Yeah. Yeah, Atten Wright, Paul talked about him earlier. We don't know if Atten Wright, I think he's exploring some other options. And, there's a chance he may not come to West Virginia, but none of that's been set in stone yet. Some of the assistant coaches from Drake not following Coach DeVries over might have cost us a few of the recruits, but I'm totally happy with the guys they are getting. They were able to go get coaches from other schools who are bringing what could potentially be better players. So it's a trade-off, right? And hopefully it's a trade-off that'll work. We're getting guys who have played at the Power 5 level before, so to me, that's a plus. But thank you, David, for the question.
I sent that to Chris. I think you'll find it funny.
But yeah, Paul, you got anything else to say, man? I'm kind of out of words to say here.
Chris said that is funny. Thank you guys for all showing up, man. You guys have really made our lives worth doing. Our live shows. You guys show up and show out, and I want to thank all you guys, man. Sean and all the guys that did super chats today. It meant a lot. Mark, Sean, TJ. I think that's it. Mark, Sean, TJ, and Shanti Warrior. Appreciate that, guys. It means a lot to us when you do that. It's kind of like validation for us too. Whenever we get some super chats, and I'm not trying to say give us money all the time, but I'm just saying it's nice to be recognized for what you're doing, and so it means a lot. Don't forget to like the video as you leave. If you don't mind, hit the like button. You got 200 people in here. Share the video out if you can. A few of you, hit that share button. Put a cool title above it, something like that. All that kind of stuff would really help grow us. If you take 2 minutes out of your day to try to do for us, it means a lot. I know just asking you to come in here and watch this is a lot too. So just if you get time, it'd mean a lot to us.
Yeah. Chris Burgess says, "Are they hire just to get players?" No, Chris, that's just a perk, a bonus. They hire for the long term, and any players they can get in the short term is a bonus. You hire a guy for his recruiting prowess and also his ability to develop players. And then if they're able to bring players from their old schools with them, then, in today's landscape, that's just a bonus that you get for hiring that guy, And then somebody asks, is the other Drake guard visiting? I'm assuming he's talking about Enright, who's already visited and committed to DePaul. But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Is there somebody I'm missing?
Well, let's see. Obviously, Overton's going to Texas Tech.
Overton's going to Texas Tech, right.
And then there was the other one that I don't know exactly what has happened with him yet. His name escapes me. You want to say Caleb, maybe? You have to put a name on it for me to tell you, though. But I'm pretty sure we're done with Drake players, guys.
Yeah. Yep. It looks like Tucker might be it.
We get the best of the bunch.
That's right. Yeah, for sure.
So,
average Cody, we can only hope, my man. I mean, you got to trust Coach DeVries that he sees and recognizes talent and thinks they can play at that level.
Well, we just got 2 Power 5 kids,
right?
So that matters too. I think it's a mixture. What I want to have, look, if you give me the pick of the litter at the mid-major level, I'll put a damn good roster together. It's just, not all translate, but most do. TJ Shelton, man, thank you, brother. Really does mean a lot. Appreciate the hell out of it.
Did you mean to leave a comment with that? If you did, go ahead and drop the comment without paying, and we'll read it.
Oh, he must not have heard us talk about it. Atten Wright is exploring other options. He's in Louisiana right now, in New Orleans. Don't know if he's going to commit or not. It sounded like he was going to, and I think based on maybe the visit, he thought, Mel, maybe let me see if there's something better for me out there right now. He's probably betting on himself. We hit it at the same time.
Says hoops from the hills. TJ, much love, my man. Thanks for the support.
Oh, there's Jacob Yoho. I was wondering where you were, Bubby.
I think 4 more Power 5 players, we should be good. Yeah. Hopefully. But I'd just as soon have a really good group of 5 player as an average Power 5 player. So, but we'll see. But yeah, Felix Okpara is definitely somebody that, we have a shot at, I think, Tosh, but we'll see how it works out. I don't really have. Paul, what do you think about that, Paul? Before we call it a day.
The Ohio State kid.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's who they're talking about.
Yeah, I thought I saw something about him today where he was going back to Ohio State.
Okay.
He made an announcement that he was. No, I could be wrong, but I thought I seen him say something about going back to Ohio State today, Tosh. Then I think it was Trilly Donovan that reposted it and said, "Hold your horses on it a little bit, for the money." That's not exactly true, basically. So he must have some kind of info on that.
He did announce he's returning and then change his mind.
Oh, okay. There it is.
Today, I just found it. He had a change of heart and says he will enter the transfer portal.
Okay, good. There you go. Then. So he's in the portal. We got a shot. Definitely got a shot. I think, we'd love to have a Big Ten All-Stars League on the Big 12. Let's get another Big Ten player. Bring him on, Bubby. I'm here. I'm here for it.
Yeah. I'm trying to read and see what the article says here about his.
I'm with you there, Curtis. Spring game. I'm excited about it too.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. It had a link to a video, which I don't. I might watch later. But yeah, I'll be anxious
Will
to
the WV
see.
spring game be on TV? Yeah, it usually is. Game Chuck. If worst case scenario, it would be on ESPN Plus.
Probably ESPN Plus. I'd say if I had to guess.
But this year's team is going to be good, so maybe they'll actually put it on TV. I don't know. Big 12 is just it's weird for us around here because we're not local to the rest of the Big 12, so they usually don't play our spring game.
Jacob, do
Curtis
you have
said ESPN Plus?
Yeah, Jacob, do you have notifications on your device? If you don't have them on, then YouTube, then you're not going to get your notifications. If you do have them on and you still didn't get it, then that's a YouTube problem, and I've known that to happen before. I do think there are times that the notifications don't get put out like they should, but there's not really a lot we can do about that, unfortunately.
You guys are being awesome tonight.
Tanner Tracks Premier with the $10 donation /super chat says, "Thanks for the recruiting updates, gentlemen. We are glad to bring them to you, man. We enjoy doing this. We love talking West Virginia hoops, and we love obviously interacting with you guys and you folks in the chat. So the support is much appreciated. Tanner Tracks Premier.
You gonna be at the spring game, Couz?
I am not, unfortunately. I don't think so, anyway, unless my plans change last minute.
Right. Well, they always could know you.
Potentially, but I don't. Probably not. I'm actually thinking about doing I don't know. I'm thinking about doing a live stream during it or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's something I flirted around with last year for my football channel was doing a live watch along with remember that?
Yeah.
I'd like to go back to that this year, but I don't know. I don't know how I don't know that I could. I'm so emotional when the games are on.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would handle it around a bunch of people. I'd probably make myself look stupid.
Right. Well, that's what people want to see, to be honest.
Yeah.
Golden Blue Dude dressed up like a clown, cut his shirts up, cut his hats up. People love that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, somebody reminded me 2 days ago, I think it was a 1-year anniversary of his death.
Yeah. It's been pretty wild, ain't it?
Yep. Hard to believe he's been gone a year. Who do we need to be competitive?
Do we need to get to be competitive this season?
Yes.
Well, I can give you the type of player. I mean, there are a ton of players out there that Coach DeVries can get for us average Cody. But basically, we're going to need a 5 that can shoot the ball for this offense, and also can protect the rim. So preferably like a 3-and-D 5, a 4 that can score around the rim, also plays good defense. We're going to want really long wings, similar to what Hugs had, that can play really, really elite defense, hopefully. At least one really good on defense and one that's a scorer like Tucker. And then you want 2 guards that don't turn the ball over and that can slash and get in the lane. And if you could have one of those guys be a real bucket getter, then you're really cooking with gas. And then you want to have a nasty guy coming off the 6th as your 6th that really changes the game in some way. Whether that's offense, whether that's defense like Austin Boyan. Nate Adrian was good on the press. You got to have that unique player to throw in there. So I think if I'm building my first 6, that's what it looks like, Cody.
Very in-depth breakdown, Paul. Well done. All right. Well, guys, listen. I've only been home. I literally came straight home and got on this. So I haven't had dinner yet. I'm hungry. Getting hangry, actually.
I'm going to Taco Bell.
So I'm going to jump off of here, grab me some dinner, take me a shower. I was outside a while today doing some stuff, so I'll probably stink. And so I think we're pretty much done here, guys. We thanks again for the support, and be on the lookout for another episode of
Hoops from the Hills.
Thanks,
Thought you were
guys.
going to catch me.
Yeah, we're done.